Hello guys and welcome back to the road to 1600. I've got a game for you today. Usually I come on here and I say, oh, I've got a great game, and most of the times they are great games, but today is not a good game. It's not a great game, it's not a fun game, because of one mistake that was made, and as you can see in the little chart right below, I had a pretty good position until that one mistake was made, and I gotta be careful about where I click. Made a little clicking mistake today. So we'll jump into the game review, but beforehand, if you haven't liked or subscribed to the channel yet, I would greatly appreciate it. Let's go take a look. Okay, let's jump into this game. I am super pumped to go over this. Alright, so starting off as black. Gonna go Karo Khan one more time. We're going to do some trades in the middle, do a little exchange variation. I was okay with that. I just want to make sure I don't trap my light squared bishop, but making sure to get knights before bishops out in front of the wall. So, want to make sure I don't trap my bishop there. I was okay if he took my knight, because I would just, bring it back with that piece I'm hovering over right there, my pawn. Yep, that's what he does. So I'm building that pawn wall. I want to set up shop on the light squares. He put some pressure on my knight. And I want to back up just one quick second here. I don't know if you guys can see this, but wait right there. I missed it again. But anyway, I was playing with the arrows on the screen, and I was trying to figure out, okay, if I move up to e4, does his knight come over and take, and then my pawn takes, or uptake with my bishop? But I was playing around with the arrows on the screen, and that is going to be very important for this video. Ah, man, that really got me. So I move up, because I got two pieces defending my knight. I want to make sure I keep that pawn in the center on the d file. And he just kind of backs up, so I take this opportunity to build my pyramid. He comes down to threaten my queen, but kind of unwarranted. I mean, I could just push that pawn there to defend. So, yeah, I had my eyes on that b2. You know, if I could get in there, maybe I could wreak a little havoc. We'll just see what happens. Gonna probe it just a little bit. So he sees that, nothing too crazy. I wasn't too emotionally involved with trying to get into that spot, but I thought I would give him a check, and then if he moved his bishop over or something, that's fine. He could take my bishop and I'll just slide my queen up. I really wasn't too upset about that, but I was going to use this opportunity to castle. So, okay, slides his bishop up, that's fine. I'm going to castle because I'm still protected. He takes, I take. No harm, no foul. So, nothing too crazy there. I start to play a little bit more aggressive here. I figured, okay, if he takes, I thought he was going to take with his knight there. We got the same amount of pawns. We both have two rooks, but I have a bishop, and he has a knight. So I was thinking to myself, I think bishops are worth slightly more than knights. So I'm like, okay, I'm probably in a winning position right now. I'm probably leading. I'm taking my time so far. I'm not trying to rush through the game, and it goes pretty well. So I keep my bishop up there for quite some time, but I see that open file if I can just get my pawn out of the way on the e file. So I slide my other rook over to try to get involved, and he kind of sees the same thing. So after, again, some more playing on the board, and I'm going to have to stop doing that for what you guys will see here in a second, but I figured, let's see if he will just, if I can push this knight out and get this knight to kind of retreat. Because I don't really want this knight sitting right there, and he's not really doing a whole lot. So let's just back him in. I'm like looking at all the spots the knight can go, and the knight can really only retreat. So I was feeling pretty good about the position so far that I had. I was getting in the zone pretty good. I was defending my pieces. I wasn't trying to overextend. And during the game review, I actually had a pretty decent advantage, coming up here. I got pretty well developed. And now 3 of his pieces are on the back rank. Like, granted 2 of mine are, but I feel like I have a lot more space to work with than he does. So I figured I'll just take that spot again. If you want to take me, do a knight for bishop trade, I'll do that every day of the week. I did block myself in here a little bit, but I was eyeing up that pawn on g2. If I could take that, put some pressure on his knight or his rook, he sees the same thing to protect. So I figured, let's trap him in. Let's trap him in. Like, if he can't really get out. And it's, yeah, after I just keep pushing these two pawns, I just keep pushing slower and slower. And then I see the real opportunity to, okay, if I go up here, he's going to lose his rook. Like, yes, he might be able to take me after the fact, but I'm going to get one of his rooks, and, you know, a solo rook is, you know, not as good as two rooks put together. So I was willing to give up that trade. Perfect. I got two rooks, bunch of pawns. He's got a knight and a rook and a bunch of pawns. So I felt pretty good about having my two rooks. So, all right, let's just start marching. Let's see where we can get to. I don't know. Maybe I should have pushed the F pawn first and then the G pawn, and maybe got that knight to come out and take, and then I would have taken with with my rook. That's probably what I should have done, actually. And because both these pawns were right here next to each other, and I'll just back up here real quick. Yeah, if I had pushed with F, he would have taken me with, yeah, he would have taken me with his knight. Then I'll take him with my rook on the F file, put into check. He can't take me, so he backs off. Then I push up the G pawn that's now protected by my rook. Yeah, that would have been way better. But I think I kind of botched that, and I maybe wanted to, like, I didn't want to go right into the path of his knight. I was a little scared of that. And I figured, all right, he can take my pawn, because then I can just move up for check. I'm always trying to look for checks. So he can't really take my pawn there on my F pawn. But I was like, all right, let me try to, like, scoop up that H pawn. If his king was going to be over there, and then I can put some pressure on his knight, and we'll figure it out. But he moved his king down, so that didn't necessarily work. Yeah, he slides over. We dance around like this for a little while. I'm up protecting pawns. I was thinking about maybe taking his knight. Then we'd be tied for rooks. And then there's something here. There's a way. There's something here. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was putting him in check right there and seeing where he went. I don't necessarily know what the answer was right there. But there was something there. And I've got all these pieces defended. The king is starting to get suffocated a little bit. I'm feeling good with it. I've got a better position. I got everything protected. Yeah, I'm feeling good. So I get my other piece protected. So I've got a pretty good position right now. So yes, I see that my knight or my rook is being attacked right now. That is an issue, yes. So let's bump up for check. And I'll just, okay, didn't see that. That's my fault. This is the biggest issue I had, and the game just gets absolutely thrown away, and I'm so mad about this. I was clicking around with the arrows, and I was trying to figure out the usual. If I go here, he goes there. I go here, he goes there. Take, whatever. And I accidentally clicked the left mouse button to move my piece by mistake. So I'm like, where do I go? And then, oh, what the heck? I just blundered away my rook. And then, just like that, I was like, wait, no, I didn't mean to move there. I think I even, like, replayed it a couple times. Live, yeah. I replayed it. I was like, what just happened? I was just moving the piece around to see what would happen. And, yeah, I just lost my rook, and that's the game. And I'm just going to let this play, because there's really no more analysis, and there's really not much to go over. Ah, man, that's so frustrating. I had a winning position. I was doing well. I clicked the wrong button. I clicked left click instead of right click to draw the arrows, and this game is pretty much done. I have one pawn, one rook. Yeah, I end up just giving away my rook on accident, but at this point I don't really think it mattered. That's a frustrating one. I could have had this. This could have been a win, but I just made a mistake. And I think, honestly, I'm going to have to draw less arrows on the board because I probably would have made that mistake some other game if I didn't make it right now. So, yeah. Well, if you've made it this far in the video, I appreciate it. This was not one of the games like I've typically played. Yeah, this one stunk. And yeah, I will try to do better in the next one. I will try to be careful with my clicks. I will try to be careful, and we'll just go from there. We only got a couple more moves left in this game, so I appreciate it if you've made it this far. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't yet. We're continuing to grow on the channel, and so please join the party. And if you can think of a way to make some moves on the board without actually clicking, I would love to know, because I clearly need that. So once again, thank you everybody. I appreciate it. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks.